Hello, friends. I welcome you all today. Today, here with us, we have Dr. Purvi Jayaaraaj. She's a very, very close friend of mine, and she's a super human. I mean, she's so active and she does a lot of things. And Dr. Purvi had done her PhD in alternative medicine. I welcome you all today. And she did her PhD in integrative medicine as well. And she's a founder of Samruddhi Healing Center in Bangalore in India. So today she will be guiding us into how to enhance our life, your health and well-being through drugless therapy. So friends, let's bring our papers and pens to note something if we need to. So I invite Purvi now. Hey Purvi, welcome.
Thank you.
Yes.
Hello, everyone. And it's definitely an immense pleasure that we have this opportunity together to share some insights and beautiful experiences that I have explored in the past few years as a doctor of alternative medicine and with a beautiful clinic that we run in Bangalore. Today, I'm going to share insights that I have received from my friends, my fellow beings, or I definitely don't want to call them as patients, but rather as beneficiaries who come to our center with various psychological, physical, or emotional concerns. So we're not going to get into the specifics of what the therapy is all about or the technicalities of the modalities that we use, but we will pick up on few modalities that can be extremely easy for all of us to accommodate and practice. At the same time, also enhance our spiritual experiences. And definitely, needless to say that they will definitely help us to amplify our physical and emotional or mental well-being. I'll try going a little slow because I have a tendency to talk too fast. So I'll make a deliberate effort to talk slowly. I'll just run the PPT now. Today and tomorrow, we will try for various ways through which we can try and enhance our well-being and health through certain modalities which are time tested. These are some of the methods which has been practiced since the Vedic times. Yoga and Ayurveda speaks about this. There are a lot of methods that we have adopted that comes from the shamanic practice as well. And most of them are out of the experience. Our beautiful beneficiaries or clients or patients who come to us, they actually help us to explore new methods by explaining their concerns, by giving specifics of what they're going through. So that helps us in a way to explore better methods to reach out to their concerns. So let's start with the very first ingredient that is essential for learning any aspect for that matter in life, which is faith. So we have to be receptive enough, open enough to grasp that which is coming to us, because I'm a strong believer. I'm sure all of you all as meditators agree with what I say, that without the good amount of receptivity or acceptance or surrender towards what we are learning, it is not possible for us to integrate them or to use them. Because as Buddha says, knowing the path and being the path are two different things. So for us to be able to understand that and be the path, faith and surrender, according to me, is the most important aspect. So let's just try to get into our hearts and believe that this entire conversation will be structured around what really your inner soul has been calling for. So the inquisitiveness that you as a listener and me as a person who's sharing this, that we have developed throughout the years, has created this very occasion so that we could all learn and we can all evolve and gain what exactly we are aspiring for at this given moment or time. So let's try to get into the feeling of gratitude for a few seconds. I always start my workshop with gratitude. Most people wind it up with gratitude or thanksgiving, but gratitude is such a beautiful phenomena that the minute you think of giving thanks to the occasion, to the situation, to the circumstance that we are put in or whatever we are experiencing, we easily connect to the space of heart. And being in the space of heart definitely gives us multiple more merits or benefits than taking anything from the space of brain. There's nothing wrong in grasping things only from the space of brain, but we know it involves a lot of skepticism and dual-mindedness. So that might lead us into certain confusions where we may not be able to integrate things at a spiritual level. So it's important that we dive into the space of heart and fill our hearts with gratitude for creating this opportunity for each other, so that the inner calling, which usually starts with an inquiry, can be answered to a good significant extent by the end of the session. Though I put up slides and pick up on images, the entire session goes with the flow. Sometimes I would have planned some other theoretical explanation for a slide, but energetically I'm led into a few other things. So though I might have written few things here, I will just go with what my heart feels is required for the session, and we will explore on those aspects. So I was sharing with Madhu and Ram the other day when we were talking about having a session like this, that we will have a beautiful blend of speaking few things on the theoretical level, because these aspects might easily connect with what each of one of us are going through in aspiration for being better physically or mentally. And we will also try to incorporate some guided meditations so that it becomes easy for you people to understand what exactly these experiences mean in aspect of health or well-being. So as I said, the first step is definitely inquiry. We would have all had certain set of questions in life as to who am I, why am I going through such experiences, why am I subjected to this sort of a disease or sickness. But according to me, these questions are a doorway for us to reach spiritual transformation and not just gain relief from the suffering that we are going through. Now, before we start any further, let's imagine a person who's in dilemma, or who's skeptical about some situation, or probably is in a sort of a fix. It is a very common tendency that when we don't find appropriate meaning to our queries or concerns, or we feel we are probably in such a situation that we are unable to find answers for it, the first few things that comes to our mind is we are definitely confused and I am not capable to come out of this. We start underestimating our potential. So then sometimes if we have good amount of influence by Asian parents, particularly, we believe in the theory of karma. So we tend to accept that the trouble or the problem, or it could be a sickness, is because of the principle of karma. So I'm bound to face this. There is no choice. I'll have to go through a set of suffering or pain or whatever conditions or turmoil we are in. The other thing that usually comes up in our mind, again, usually with happens with the Asians, or with particularly with Indians, that we believe a lot with astrology and numerology and everything. Of course, now Westerners also are very open towards these sciences. So they start thinking that it's primarily because of some zodiac sign or the influence of some stars or planets, which is overpowering our own strength. And they have such a significant negative influence because you are in a fix or trouble now, that nothing can be changed. You have to go through this phase, or such and such planet has an adverse effect on you, so you got to just bear with it. Or some people who are weak minded, or probably who have a wrong belief system or beliefs based on fear, particularly, have a tendency to believe that they have influences of evil eye, or some black magic, or maybe some paranormal activity on which they cannot have appropriate hold on, or they cannot probably decipher what is happening, is having an influence on them, and that is why they are going through so and so problem or troubles. But today we are going to dive into a little deeper into these aspects, as they usually call it, as we'll do something like a peeling of an onion sort of a procedure, where we will try to do a deeper analysis and take it to the level of observation from inquiry. So usually the limited options which is available for a person when in fix or trouble is to pass on the responsibility or blame to someone else and think it is because of everything on earth, but not me. But when you start observing, particularly with a background of spirituality, the answers could be definitely different from what a logical mind has been trying to convince us. So when we connect the inner self into the inner reality, it is similar to the reality that our ancient sages have been explaining from thousands of years. We know that be it Gautama Buddha or Adi Shankaracharya, one of the spiritual masters, or be it Vivekananda from India, have all spoken about certain aspect. It could be even Jesus or Muhammad or any enlightened master for that matter, have all spoken about a particular aspect which somehow doesn't fit into any one of the previous logical interpretations that we usually tend to do. Whatever the previous slides that we saw, it could be negativity, it could be probably in my genes, it is DNA, it's karma, it's because of the planetary position or the house that I'm staying in, the feng shui and things like that. I'm not trying to degrade any of those aspects, but every enlightened master who found light within themselves, who have had this enigmatic smile on their face and a brilliant, radiant energy all around them, who were in such a capacity and potential to manifest everything that they wanted, to explore and manifest their dominant intention, which was helping humanity, somehow didn't blame any of the previous reasons, but we do. So, what are these principles that's been taught, irrespective of the culture or religion or the sort of rituals or practices or customs that these masters have practiced? They're all common in one particular aspect. That is exactly what we are going to explore today in our conversation or discussion. So, all these ace practitioners or masters or enlightened divine beings spoke to us or tried to convince us that we are not just physical body. Physical body is available to the naked physical eye, but we are definitely not restricted to that. We are multi-dimensional being. So though the body is integration of five beautiful elements, we are not even that body. Though we have energy system, we have chakras, we have meridians, we have all the subtle bodies around, we are still not that. So they were particularly telling us about some mystical yet omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent essence within us, which probably cannot be understood by slicing different aspects of our body or trying to know more about our own emotional status, or even by understanding different layers of the logical mind. So they were talking about the final aspect, which is the spirit or the essence or the soul. So before we move on to the emotions, we will do a small um, meditation, which is very popular in the yoga system. It is similar to Yoga Nidra. Now, this relaxation technique that we will practice today is like the foundation for anybody who wants to explore spiritual practices in enhancing physical and mental health. Now, before I proceed with this practice, I would like to very clearly mention a point here that if anybody has been thinking that evolving spiritually has got nothing to do with physical betterment, as in getting over physical diseases, I'm sorry, I deny on this point, because every single spiritual awareful thought or practice or understanding has an immediate effect on amplifying even your physical, mental, and emotional well-being. So we've had a number of research on this. A lot of articles have been published in many journals, but they're not popular because they're not part of our curriculum or textbooks, or our parents didn't really feel that to be very important to pass it on as a primary information in most of our families. So we tend to disbelieve that spiritual practice or keeping our inner mind calm and healthy has got anything to do with our physical body, because we have this narrow, restricted mindset that good diet or probably maintaining certain ethics that we are told is good for health, which is eating on time, doing certain set of exercise, taking bath, doing good makeup to our body, and that's it. I mean, few other rituals, and that's about it. Nothing much you can do about the body. But that isn't true at all, because every cell has consciousness. Every cell works with its own principles of spirituality. I'm sure as meditators, you know that when you dive into a cell, you have those cells and atoms and neutrons and protons and electrons, but there is also a vast amount of space, which is proven in quantum physics that it is that spirit or essence or consciousness that we are talking about. So only when you make a conscious, deliberate effort to enhance the spiritual strength, you can also reflect that on your body. So we will now do an exercise where we will try to relax our system first so that we can capitalize on the other meditations that we do in the later part of the session. Now, relaxation, most of us feel we know how to relax. We just have to sit on a nice soft couch or maybe turn on the AC or fan or sip our favorite cool drink and we are relaxed. I'm sorry, that is just the relaxation at the physical level. If you got to relax your inner system, you got to dive in a little deeper. Relaxation that is understood by the logical mind is not a proven relaxation that can help your body uh, get better or your mind heal or your emotions to come into that equilibrium or equanimity. So we are going to now explore that part of a deep guided relaxation where with the help of the mind we can dive into certain inner layers of your own body where the energy field becomes active and you try to shed and release all the registered memories of stress. Now, I'm sure most of us would have experienced that when we get a bad news over phone or we watch something on the TV which creates panic, we have an instantaneous effect on the body. We get palpitations, we tend to sweat a lot, or probably if that's constant fear, then it might lead into sleeplessness. Some people faint when they hear shocking news. So all this tells us evidently that an emotion or probably a stressful thought can have an immediate impact on the body. So let's assume you've gone through some stressful situation or negative memory for 5 years or probably 10 years. Somebody has deceived you, somebody robbed your house, you lost your favorite job, or separation from your partner, or anything of that sort. So the contemplation of all these negative memories or negative thoughts or fear of future can get registered in the body. Most of the people feel that after 5 or 10 years of that experience getting over, or probably you've forgotten that isn't affecting your health at all. I'm sorry, it isn't true. I've seen thousands of people carrying memories even of their childhood or some wrong belief system that was registered by their parents when they were barely 3 or 4 years old. So we usually cannot make that out because our logical mind doesn't allow us to understand this at a deeper level. But when we practice something like this, where we tap into every single cell, every single organ, and try to bring in that essence internally, then just like how when the water settles, you can look at the dust and dirt that is there in the water evidently, we can develop that clarity, intuition, and probably that sense of alertness where we will know where exactly the issue is registered. So let's do this beautiful guided meditation now. I'm sure most of you all would have practiced this sort of a relaxation already, but there are three aspects to it. One is shedding our negatives, receiving light, and also diving into deeper relaxation where we become magnetic to the energy that we really need as a core basic ingredient to get better. Yes. So if you're sitting on a chair, it's absolutely fine. But if you feel like lying down, that would also be better. You can recline or you can sit or probably lie down. But I prefer that you close your eyes and focus on your breathing, please. Keep focusing on your breathing. Do deep inhalations and exhalations. Every time you inhale and every time you exhale, think, imagine, or visualize that you're diving into a deep sense of relaxation. Now, slowly and gently, as you focus on your breathing, imagine a vast, beautiful garden where there's green grass spread all over like green carpet. There is a possibility that your visualization is not very clear or vivid. It's absolutely normal. If you cannot see it like an animated continuous movie in your mind screen, you can even think about the guidance or instruction that's given. It's absolutely fine. You can recreate the picture of what you have seen earlier. Imagine a vast, beautiful garden with green grass spread all over like green carpet. Feel the softness of the grass through your feet, fragrance of the flowers, an exotic panorama around. You feel so happy and comfortable. Slowly and gently, as you walk around, you're now choosing a favorite comfortable spot to lie down and rest your body. Slowly and gently, lie down on the green, beautiful, soft bed of grass and shift the entire body weight to Mother Earth place. As you focus on your inhalations and exhalations, you're consciously receiving the breath, consciously experiencing it, and consciously releasing it as well. Slowly and gently now, take your awareness onto the vast blue sky and imagine divine white healing light coming all the way from the sky towards you. Imagine a beautiful spotlight like energy flowing towards you, like liquid light, glittering bright. Slowly and gently, imagine this beautiful radiant light getting closer and closer, closer and closer. Slowly and gently, as you visualize this light getting closer and closer, imagine this divine healing light touching your forehead and from there on, filling every single cell of your brain. Slowly and gently now, this divine, beautiful healing light is flowing further down into your eyes, your nose, your cheeks, your lips, your teeth, further down into your tongue, spreading all over your face, covering your ears, back of your head, your occipital region, flowing further down into your neck, your throat, your thyroid glands, every single cell in your body is observing this healing light like sponge observing water. There's a deep sense of relaxation that every single cell in your body is going through. Slowly and gently now, light is flowing further down from your neck into your shoulder blades, your spinal cord, touching till the tailbone, spreading all over your back, filling your kidneys, your adrenal glands. Slowly and gently, imagine this light flowing further down from your neck, from your throat, into your collarbones now. Flowing further down into your arms, your elbows, your wrist, your palms, out through your fingertips. Slowly and gently, as you imagine this light, do not try to interpret or understand the meaning of stress and what it means to you. Just release it, let it go. Create a substitute for this term in form of a visualization. As in, imagine you're just releasing a waste tissue paper, or probably releasing some amount of dust or dirt from your system. Imagine you're shedding away an old piece of cloth, which will not serve you anymore. Release and let go. Let go of all the panic and anxiety that you hold for future. Your apprehensions because of anticipations. Release it and let it go. Release anything that's significant for you to unburden at this stage. It could be a financial fear, to a troubled memory of any previous incidents. Release it and let it go. Do not go back to that memory. Just treat it like a dark dot or a mass of cloud. Just Release it with the help of the light that's gushing through your system now. With the grace of the light that's helping you release and unburden yourself from darkness or heavy energies, you can already sense a feeling of lightness within you. Slowly and gently, as you release and let go, and as you feel that vacuum within you, take your awareness back onto the beautiful sky again. Imagine divine white healing light coming all the way from the sky again and filling your system. As you observe this cosmic light this time, you're already inculcating the positive qualities or attributes that you always wanted the old patterns to be replaced with. Slowly and gently, as you see this light filling your system again, it's moving faster this time. You're observing at a greater capacity. There's amplified reception for this light. Qualities of peace, love, joy, happiness, celebration, acceptance, forgiveness, and all that is required for you to have a better and a beautiful body and mind is now being refilled. This radiant light is gushing into every single cell, radiating out through your body into your auric field and creating a beautiful cocoon of light all around you. A beautiful magnetic energy field to attract more of such positive, beautiful, divine qualities and opportunities into your life. Deeply inhale and exhale again, as you know and believe that this light will be with you till you meditate again, guiding you the right way forward. Slowly and gently become aware of your physical body, the space that you're right now in. Gently move your fingers and toes. Rub your hands against each other. When you feel you're ready, keep them on your eyes. Let the energy gush into your eyes. And when you feel you're ready, take your own time. Slowly and gently open your eyes and come back to normal, please. Right. For some, it might take a little longer to come out of this state of relaxation. It's absolutely fine. There are cases where some people feel certain adverse effects of the relaxation technique. Some people have a terrible headache, or some people are usually sensing some sort of a pain or discomfort. But let me tell you, this is not an impact of the meditation or relaxation that you've done. It's because of two primary reasons. One could be that there is rejection of the light that's coming in. Body is so saturated or accustomed to being in ignorance or darkness or sick energy or ill health energy that it feels that the light that's pouring in isn't in alignment with that vibration, so it tends to push it off and create trouble and tantrums by not willing to accept it. But the only way out is to talk back to that part which is throwing trouble, to ask it to or request it to observe it, since this is the right energy and what is in its place was not the appropriate one. So just making it to understand that it's absolutely fine to receive this energy. The second could be that there was so much of desperation in that specific spot that it wanted more of that energy. So it's calling for energy or attention. For either of these reasons or any other thing, because there's sometimes other reasons like there's a blocked meridian or there is a tear in a chakra or things like that, or there's a lot of registered ill health energy in some organ. There could also be certain symptoms, but the only way out is to continue to meditate. If you don't want to make it as elaborate as this, you can do it for 5 minutes, for 2 minutes. Just imagine light passing through you. Talk to the organ or that area for a few days and then practice this. But it is not the side effects of meditation, it is the rejection or non alignment of the light itself. So do not be worried if you had any such adverse effects. Right, so let's proceed with the presentation. So the next main aspect that creates most of the concerns or diseases in physical body is emotions. I might sound that I am blowing things out of proportion, but it is a proven fact that more than 80% of the concerns are because of emotional disturbances, concerns as in physical ailments or diseases. But we think emotions is only about certain mood swings. It's about being sad or happy or aggressive or being in disgust or a paranoid or annoyed or things like that, but it doesn't end there. Every emotion that we emote has an immediate or sometimes a prolonged or sometimes it is postponed, but it has an effect. It is registered in your auric field, in your subconscious self, and it accumulates into being converted into either a trauma or an accident or a ill health in most of the cases. So if we don't cater to this need, if we don't go back and see what emotions were not in alignment with the energy field that probably we would have gathered through meditation, or what were those emotions which disturb the regular homeostasis of the body, as in the regular balance of the or equilibrium of the body, then we are bound to be something like this bucket of water where you have water but there is constant leakage. So when there's leakage of energy, when there's leakage of life force energy or potential, you know that you just can't uh, have this satisfaction or contentment about life in any aspect, because the major thing is we feel if the scenario or the incidence is over and we have thrown some aggressive reactions to it, or we have probably been in depression for a few weeks, and if that situation has got out of our logical mind, as in our memory, then it's gone. You don't have to worry. But it doesn't work like that. It would have definitely got into the inner layers and registered at the subconscious level and created many other concerns. So if I have to use some technical terms, it's okay if you don't understand this part, but it is proven that, I'm sure you know, when you meditate, there are certain glands which are active and there is secretion of happy hormones or good hormones that helps the brain and the other parts of the body. So the reverse is also true. So when you're emotionally too sensitive, then there's a part in the brain called amygdala that senses this, and it sends signals to your hypothalamus gland. And from there, the signal is passed into the different parts of the body where the level of cortisol or other stress hormones is immediately shooted up. And we know that certain sense of flight and fight response is good. When you're in panic, when you're in tension, or when there's an emergency, we need that adrenaline rush. We need that additional energy we want our BB to go up, we want our glucose to go up, we want the energy to be increased so that we can manage that trauma or that emergency situation. But what if the memory continues in the mind or the emotional memory? We all feel that when there's a particular stressful event, we were sad for a little time or we were depressed for a few weeks, but it might come as a shocker for you people to know that if you've not healed that aspect of experience, it can have a adverse effect throughout the life. So if this flight and fight response is consistent, as in if you were nagging about something or if you felt depressed about something or you were petrified about something, we usually see people with arrogant parents sometimes, or somebody who's trying to take away your freedom or liberty, or probably a teacher who's scaring the hell out of you every day in school for a few years. So when there's this prolonged tendency, then the brain continues to release these stressful hormones and it has its own adverse effect. So we can see in this picture anything starting from being too tired to irritability, headache, intestinal problems, constipation, anxiety, weight gain. Most people come to me and say, I've been hitting the gym for years together, but I don't see even kg being reduced, not even a pound of my weight is reduced. That's because your emotional stability also has to work towards it, and most of them don't feel that is important. So you can have poor sleep, and the worst thing is your immunity level goes down, because when you are in flight and fight response, your immunity takes the back seat and you cannot fight against anything that's important or a priority for the body. So you're also unable to manage pain. Your pain resistance capacity goes down when such incidences are constantly being recalled or when you contemplate on certain adverse conditions in your life. So we know that when there are happy hormones being released in the body, it helps all the above conditions. But here is something very significant, important that I would like to share. I'm sure you guys know what the adverse effect of anxiety is, but most of us fail to understand what is the negative effect of recalling a negative incidences, recalling a negative incidents or a couple of incidences without understanding the spiritual significance of it. As in, let's say somebody had a bad relationship, somebody deceived. We must understand that the brain doesn't understand or is not matured enough to understand that the incidents belong to the past and I'm no longer going through it, but I'm only recalling it. I repeat, this is very important. If you're emotionally too perturbed and disturbed and you have a tendency to recall it again and again, your brain doesn't have the maturity or that understanding that this was an incidence of past. It doesn't belong to the now. So it has got nothing to do with what I'm recalling now. Brain just thinks that the incidence is happening again in the now, and it creates all those adverse conditions that it created earlier. So if somebody has lost someone or probably was deceived for something or met with an accident and you're constantly recalling it, you are definitely bound to go back to the same incidents. It doesn't understand the breakup happened 10 years back, somebody died 20 years back, or I lost my job, or I went bankrupt 15 years back, or the child abuse for that matter. A lot of people come to us with these memories, don't even know that it could be the reason behind their infection in uterus, or sometimes their bad sexual life, or nightmares for that matter. They're all connected. All right. So as I said, so the memory, the experience and the memory recall will have the same impact. We know that there are a number of state-of-the-art technological advanced gadgets which can help us to understand this. We use something called as HRV, heart rate variability, when we test and see the coherence, and we understand that if these emotions have had a adverse effect, then their heart rate variability is too low, and we know that the energy field is adversely affected. We know their thoughts are adversely affected by such memories. So the key is to shift the aspect of frustration into appreciation. So definitely my recommendation is to practice relaxation every day. It sounds like, a very common usual exercise. Oh, relaxation, yes, I've been practicing it, but no, it doesn't work like that. We all have challenging situations, bad relationship, tension, stress, everything coming up, either minor or major realities of life throwing us certain challenges. So just like how we bathe ourselves, we brush our teeth, we have to also relax our system at least for a few minutes. We can call that as a power hour or power minute of our day and try to recharge it. Now, once that foundation, that base is laid, the next very important thing is to convert the aspect of frustration due to different experiences into appreciation and acceptance and surrender, and bringing in spiritual realization into every single experience. There are umpteen number of ways through which we can do this. But before that, I would like to show you a beautiful animated meditation video that can help us understand or probably practice this easily. Just give me. Yes. So I'm going to now play a small video. It's called Heart Light Meditation. This happened to me around a year back when I was in a meditation session, and I saw this like an animated movie in my mind. And just after a few hours, I went to my clinic and I had one of my students visit me. And of all the other things, she said, "Remember a few years or a few months back, you were telling me that you wanted to create some animation of important meditation tracks. Are you planning to do something like that? Because I would like to take dictation of the script and try with my friend if we can animate it." So it was just, um, bang on point and very much in the aspect of synchronicity. So when we meditate, you all know, we all act like these beautiful magnets attracting each other's energy field to the right intention. So this was completely guided in meditation. We all know how important it is to tap into the space of heart to create any sort of change or healing, starting from the ancient times, be it from the times of Shankaracharya, who is one of the ancient ace enlightened masters in India, to any other religious practices. Seeing the light in heart has always been a primary thing, because we feel that's the seat of the soul. That is where our essence is primarily registered. Many people say that this is where the key of our DNA lies and things like that, whatever it could be. But being in that space definitely makes a magnificent, fantabulous improvement in our physical and mental well-being as well. Of course, spiritually, you have this exotic experience, no doubt about it. But if you can do some or the other exercise or meditation, at least for a couple of minutes to tap into that space, that'll definitely give a lot of benefits. So you can either watch this video or close your eyes and practice this meditation. Welcome to Heart Light Meditation. Sit in a comfortable posture and gently close your eyes. Now slowly focus on your breathing. Do not attempt to manipulate the pattern of your breathing. Continue to focus on your natural inhalations and exhalations. Slowly shift your attention to your beautiful heart, the gateway to connect to the core of who truly you are. You may now choose to place one of your hands on the center of your chest, connecting with your heart. The humble abode of eternal knowing, bliss, love, and pure consciousness.
Visualize this divinity as glittering white flame of light dwelling in your heart center. Your attention there is now widely opening this light to expand and radiate it throughout your body. With every pulse of your heart, this benevolent light is radiating further into your aura, filling it with joy, peace, harmony, strength, wellness, abundance, and contentment. Let this light engulf you as a cocoon of energy. Soak yourself with unconditional love, compassion, acceptance, and appreciation flowing out from your heart center. This beautiful ball of light is growing bigger and bigger. You are now an instrument to channel this light to all that you intend to. Send this wondrous energy to your loved ones and letting it flow to everybody and everything that's seeking your attention and help, from the member in your family to a desire in your mind. Let all that get blessed with this transcendental light. This divine light is now filling up the place of your residence, your area, your city, your state, country, and the whole of Mother Earth, illuminating entire Earth with loving kindness, harmony, and divine peace. Let this light further expand into our galaxy. This pure white light, shining like millions of diamonds, is blending with the grace of universal consciousness, extending further to merge with the source of love. This ever-expanding light from the source is now webbing all of us together in oneness. Feel this unlimited source of light showering its mercy and shielding you with its effulgence. Always. Gently open your eyes and come out of the meditation when you feel you're ready. Thank you.
All right. So one of the reasons why we bought this track when we were talking about emotional well-being yes, or releasing emotional baggage was primarily because when we ask somebody who's been annoyed by a relative or probably is just trying to get over this feeling of negative feeling of an accident or someone's death or a divorce, it is definitely not very easy to let go and release and forgive and come out of it. Probably uh, for the sake of the therapy, they say yes, but it is registered at a much deeper level than nodding their head to me when I'm talking or receiving it even subconsciously for that matter, because the impression would have gone at a deeper level than their participation in the therapy itself. So when we practice something like this, where you connect with the higher consciousness, where you feel you're being completely supported with love and protection and forgiveness and unconditional other abundant energy or positivity, then you know that it is easy for you to release something which looks very insignificant, futile, and silly, or very negative to be carried over or carried forward in life. But otherwise, logically, if you tell yourself, I want to forget it, I'll never think about it, that is not the remedy. Most of them misunderstand this concept of releasing emotional stress with that they'll never think about it, they'll never talk about them, they'll never go to their house, all this will be a remedy. But it won't be unless and until you rethink about it and be absolutely okay and neutral about the entire explanation or that recalling that you do. So there are a few more techniques which probably can be helpful for somebody to release it. Before we talk any further on that, I would like to, after discussing the other 3 points about emotional well-being, we can wind with another very beautiful meditation sessions that was guided just a couple of weeks back in one of our group meditations, one of my husband's favorite too. He's just joined us now because he knows I'm going to guide that meditation a little while. Very beautiful, spiritually enhancing experience. But after we finish these 3 aspects, so breathing, be it Anapanasati meditation, my highest recommendation is always Anapanasati meditation, that which Ram and Madhu always guide you so beautifully, that it has not one or two, but umpteen number of enhanced experiences inside, and n number of benefits, even at the physical level or mental level. Because when we connect with the breath, we know we are connecting with all that it requires to fix or pay attention or heal, or probably to increase our awareness and love, so that it awakens the healer within and does what is really as a highest priority for the body or for the mind to work on. So apart from that, we can also do another simple exercise where we release these emotional stress from our chakras. I'm sure most of you all are aware of this, but just in case if you're not, then we have 7 primary chakras in our energy body, starting from root chakra, which is in Sanskrit called as Mooladhara chakra, to crown chakra on top of the head, which is called as a Sahasrara chakra in Sanskrit. So what we can do is think or recall of that adverse situation, emotion, which has triggered a lot of disturbance and turmoil in your system, and just try to inhale deeply till the end of your Mooladhara chakra. And imagine as you release that breath, you're releasing that memory too. As in, if let's say you're feeling absolutely very angry and annoyed or agitated or frustrated, or you have a feeling of disgust about somebody for doing something bad to you. So you just think of that incident, inhale till the top of your Mooladhara chakra, as you can see here, and exhale, imagining that you have released that feeling of disgust as you exhale your breath. And then you go deeper. In the next breath, in the next cycle, you inhale till your sacral center, Swadhisthana chakra. And then as you exhale, you think you're releasing that person or that feeling of disgust from your sacral center and your Mooladhara chakra, as in from your emotional disturbance as well as from your body. Because as I said in the beginning, any disturbance or disgust registers not in just the memory, but in the cellular memory too. So the third cycle, you go till the Manipuraka chakra, and then you go further down into your spiritual center, which is Anahata chakra, and then release it. The next cycle, you go till your throat center, and then release it slowly. Then you go in the next cycle till your third eye center and release it slowly. So you inhale full stomach, full lungs, and then you release, and then imagine you're letting go. So initially, we just have to believe that this process is working. It's like make it or fake it. So just thinking with the breath it's going. But eventually, as you do this practice consistently for a few days, then your subconscious self, your energy, your consciousness, and your entire whole system knows that you are releasing some part of a memory or some part of an energy which isn't serving you anymore. So it's just with consistency that we get to reap higher benefits. So you can do this either once or twice in a day, either in the morning or in the evening, and do it at least for a week with one incident. As in, if you have some specific negative memory, just stick on to that memory. Though you feel after 2 or 3 days you feel a little better, continue, because logical mind is always intruding and trying to put its own logical analysis and telling you, no, this is right, I forgot, it's okay, let me not think about it anymore. It doesn't work like that, because we don't know at what level and to what degree or scale it would have affected us. So I prefer that you do it at least for a week, and then you move to the next incidents. Of course, this is one of the methods. You can choose to do anything otherwise. So forgiving and letting go is so important. And we all know the significance of forgiveness. We know how important affirmations are, prayers are. But what is very, very important from the aspect of health is taking the onus on us, taking the responsibility on us rather than on the other person. Let's say if somebody deceived you, if they created some mess, it is a very common tendency to say you just point your finger and say it's because of them, you, there, this. But you just think that that mess had a message for me. Therefore, I have to forgive and let go. I have to ask for forgiveness and let go, irrespective of what the situation is all about. Now, most of the people have a problem with this. If somebody would have deceived or cheated, then I ask for forgiveness. They're like, why should I even think about it? Because I never did anything wrong. I never did anything negative that I should be asking forgiveness. I'm not asking you to go physically ask forgiveness, but at the spiritual level, because you want to release yourself from this scenario, from this entanglement. We call this in treatment as repetitive syndrome, where you somebody deceives it, and then you're resonating with that pain or sympathy. And we are also good with the empathetic, gestures and body language. You tend to resonate with that, so you have more people or other people coming, or you have lifetimes after lifetimes where you attract similar situations. Usually in the same life we attract a lot of those things. So if you want to detangle yourself, then you got to come out of this, because that very situation would have had a message for you. So we can use something like this: I choose to forgive people who hurt me, I release anger and resentment. So you can do this in the morning or during meditations, but my recommendation is that you do it in the night, because when you have such beautiful thought and you go to sleep, it's amplified multiple times in your sleep state as well. So we can do that. Or of course, this is a famous, I'm sure most of you all know about this story, that one of the therapists who was to talk about releasing emotional burden used to talk about and give an example that if you hold a mug with some water for 1 or 2 minutes is absolutely fine. It's not painful for your hand. You don't mind doing it. You feel it's no big deal. I can go on for the doing this for hours together. But even if it's just half a cup of water, if you hold this for maybe a day or two, practically probably it's not possible for most of them, but after a few hours, you know that just this small amount of water also looks like you're holding a huge mountain. So emotions are like that. If you're holding it for some time, it's absolutely fine. We all tend to express, we try to come out of it, we tend to release it, pass it on to others. But if you don't get over it, and most importantly, I've seen that if you don't want to let that be converted into a disease, if you don't want that to manifest into something that might get connected with something else at the later stage of your life and come out as a pain or a disease or an allergy or infection or some burning or itching or whatever, then you got to learn the spiritual significance behind the experience and then release it. Otherwise, the entire situation is of no use to you. So this is a very beautiful, famous saying that an enlightened master from India had quoted thousands of years ago. He says, if you want to really forgive somebody and want to come out of it, do not think of anybody as your parent or your friend or your neighbor or whatever. Think that the other person is just a mirror image of your own self. So if that person is a mirror image of your own self, which is true, because at the inner level, I am a part of the higher consciousness of the Parabrahma, that is the God Almighty. You too are. So if both of us are of the same energy, then I am no different from you. It is like A is equal to B is equal to C, therefore A is equal to C, naturally. So if you understand from that aspect, then you would instantly forgive that person, because you know that you deserve forgiveness. And we so gracefully forgive ourselves every day. We turn off the alarm and sleep for a few extra hours. We commit ourselves, from tomorrow I'm going to go for gymming. We don't. From tomorrow, no chips, we eat. From tomorrow, I will watch TV only for 1 hour. We always disappoint ourselves, but we continue to forgive ourselves. I think in a day, we forgive ourselves for at least a dozen of times. So if you think like that, then it becomes easier. I think this is one of the easiest and fantastic ways to do that. So we'll talk about gratitude probably tomorrow, but we will do another beautiful meditation. Of course, there are other methods that you can, help yourself come out of the emotional trauma. What is it that you'll have to pen down and identify? It could be a negative. See, sometimes as a therapist, I find it so, I shouldn't be using the word funny, but insignificant, I can say, that some people hook on to memories like my teacher in standard 2 insulted me in front of everybody that I was wearing a dirty shirt, and you're 40 years old, you still recall that. Yes, that's the stage from where their confidence went down. Sometimes they had 2 other siblings, and mother gave an extra piece of cake to the elder one and another extra piece of cake to the younger one. She said, oh, you anyway don't like sweets, so it's okay, you manage with this. So from there, they started thinking mom has always been partial, and that has got accumulated into some other stupid beliefs, and that has got converted into a disease. All right. So sometimes it's very futile. So you might not find it easy to pen them down because it's the logical mind says, oh, it's too silly. This can't create a disease. I'm sorry. That could have also created the disturbance that you're going through. So sorry, there's a message. So okay. Sure, Pawan. I'll go a little slow. In fact, in the beginning of the session, I was saying that I have a tendency to speak fast. So I'll definitely try to slow down. All right. So apart from these sessions that I was talking about, like releasing your emotional stress through breathing or doing some other forgiveness prayer, you can also do something that you've learned from other sources, but do not do something where the impact of it is creating more vengeance. It's like, I'm done with it, so I don't mind burning a piece of paper where they have their name written of their enemy, or some divorcee's name. You burn that photo and you get over it. I don't suggest such things. As I said, you have to spiritually evolve yourself. Right. So Kavita wants us to repeat the message of uh, Shankaracharya once again. I will definitely do it. So you got to be in the state of peace, gratitude about experiencing something so traumatic. So my recommendation is, don't do something where you feel relieved, where you feel, okay, I called him up and scolded him, or maybe I tore his photo, I threw his tongue. Okay, fine. Sometimes, yes, as an impact or impression of that situation, we all tend to do that, but that doesn't really yield good results for your body and mind. So doing something spiritual is always beneficial. So before we do the next part of the meditation, I would like to repeat the message that Adi Shankaracharya said about forgiveness. If you want to really forgive somebody from the deeper layers of your heart, do not think that you're forgiving them as your parent or your friend or your foe or your neighbor or your colleague. Think you're forgiving your own self, because that person who has offended you is nothing but reflection of your own essence. So when you start thinking that I'm not forgiving that ex-boyfriend or my colleague or my neighbor who hurt me, rather I'm thinking I'm forgiving my own self for my ignorance or immaturity, it becomes easier to forgive. So you're not identifying with the name or the role, you're connecting from the heart. All right? Okay, good. So now let's do another beautiful session before we wind up. It's called I Am That, or Soham meditation. Now, this helps at all levels, be it physical, mental, spiritual. You want to attract something in life, you want to amplify your personality. It really helps at all dimensions. So I'm sure as we meditate, you'll understand more about it. Let's get started. You may choose to recline, sit in a comfortable posture. Gently close your eyes and focus on your breathing. Keep focusing on your breathing. Do not attempt to manipulate your inhalations or exhalations. Tap into the automatic breathing process. As soon as you put your focus on your breathing, you'll automatically and spontaneously feel and realize that your breathing has become more rhythmic, slow, and awareful. Now let us slowly focus on the meaning. Let us reflect on the concept of Soham. Imagine so as you breathe in and as you breathe out. As if you're inhaling the vibration or sound so, and you're exhaling the vibration or the sound hum. As you blend with the awareness of the supreme consciousness of Soham, which means I am that. I am that. Slowly and gently, you're preparing yourself to the inner journey. Slowly and gently, you're getting ready to unload and let go of all your false identities that you have been carrying in your life, that which you truly are not. Let's release these aspects and intricacies of Maya, of that which isn't true, to tap into who truly you are, to dive into who truly you were and you'll eternally continue to be. Let's start this journey with a basic question of who am I? You're noticing your inner self helping you to now release all your false identities one after the other. Are you the house or the space that you're presently sitting in? Are you the favorite thing that you're closely holding on to? Are you that object, item that you're obsessed about in this life? No, you're not. Are you that vehicle? Are you that car? Are you that expensive, materialistic object that you own? No, you're not. Are you even your physical body? Are you the skeletal, muscular, nervous system that you usually identify yourself with? No, you're not. Are you even the mind? Or are you this auditory nervous system which is listening to this meditation? Are you your logical, analytical mind interpreting the information right now? Are you your beliefs, your emotions, your memories of your past or present life? No, you're not. Are you your fears and inhibitions? Are you your insecurities? Are you your worry and panic about your future? Are you the one who aspires for liberation or mukti? You're not even that. So, who are you? What is stopping you from tapping into who truly you are? What are your entanglements? What are you hooked and locked down to? What are you clinging to that it's not letting you cross the bridge to access the truth, which is on the other side of your own self? What is it that you got to set yourself free from? Are you your responsibilities? Are you the one who wants to complete any project or responsibility of son's or daughter's marriage, somebody's graduation, or probably visiting a place? Are you that incompleteness? Are you those obligations? What are you? You are that beautiful God that you always believed in. That which is eternal. You are that omnipotent, omnipresent, and omniscient being. You are that which you always defined as God consciousness. You're all that you were told God is all about, or you believed it to be. Eternal, magnificent, magical. You are that impression of God that you believed in. You are those attributes and qualities that you knew God to inherit or possess or reflect. You are that calmness, that comfort that you felt or feel when you tap into the feeling of love that is showered to you by God that you believe in. You're that blessing that you go desperate for, visiting different people and places. You are that beauty that is projected through your eyes, that you appreciate and notice in different places, objects, and beings. You are that peace that you experience in varied experiences of your life. You are that unlimited wisdom. You are that creativity and infiniteness. You are that essence. You are that harmony, that balance that gives you eternal ananda or happiness. You are that element of Shiva himself, You are that Christ consciousness. You are that Krishna consciousness. That which is eternal conscious bliss. You are that. You are that. Feel a sense of joy in your heart as the doors that is now opened has led you to tap into the core of who truly you are. Feel this joy, creating ripples of energy throughout your awareness. It's going to eternally be a part of your awareness, even when you come back to your logical, limited role that you have chosen to express and project to the physical level in this lifetime. When we come out of this beautiful meditation, we will be better beings physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Because we all know who truly we are deep within ourselves. Do deep inhalations and exhalations and take your own time. Feel the resonance of all the beautiful qualities that you have gathered from this glimpse of experience that you have had to shine through your eyes, through your gestures, through your words, as you choose to lead your life in enlightened awareness for the rest of your life. Slowly and gently, let's try to slowly come back to our role, to your awareness. Focus slowly on your beautiful vehicle, your physical body, posture that you are sitting or lying down or being in this meditation. Gently move your fingers and toes. And with a sense of gratitude, slowly rub your hands against each other. Take your own time. If you don't feel like doing it now, you can take a few more minutes. Feel the warmth gushing from your palms into your eyes and into your body. As you deeply inhale and exhale, as you move your physical body, you know the resonance of the awareness, which you already knew, of course, is going to be carried forward at a deeper level into your physical reality. All right. I think I took almost 15 minutes extra of your time. Sorry for that, but right. So we are going to do and touch upon other aspects like gratitude and how significant thoughts are and how we can help ourselves by fine tuning these thoughts. I'm sure most of you all are already aware of it, but from the sense and perspective of understanding health to help our body recover druglessly without medicines or chemicals, to activate the inner healer and inner consciousness so that we can boost our immunity at the physical level and also awareness at the spiritual level to help ourselves. Tomorrow, I'm sure it's going to be at the same time. So in case you have any doubts, if time permits, I think Madhu and Ram can take a call on this. I can answer your questions if you had any doubts or confusions during this part of the session. Otherwise, you can hold your questions for tomorrow and we can discuss on that as well. If there's anything that you'd like to know about the field of work that I am in, probably drug therapy or holistic treatment and alternative medicine, I can definitely try my best to answer them if I'm aware of that or I have any knowledge in that. Otherwise, I would like to wind today's session. Madhu, over to you. Thank you.